What if I told you the internet has layers, and at its darkest depths lies a place so hidden, so forbidden, that even hackers fear its name? A place called Marianas Web. They say it's the deepest part of the web, where the world's darkest secrets are stored. Some claim it's a myth, but I know better. I've been there. And what I found changed everything I thought I knew about humanity, power, and even life itself. This is the story of how I uncovered a conspiracy so vast. It spans governments, alien life forms, and the very survival of our planet. Welcome to Inside Marianas Web, the Quantum Betrayal. Let me tell you something about fear. It's not real. At least, that's what I told myself every time I walked into a war zone. My name is Ethan Hayes. I've been a journalist for over 2 decades, and I've seen it all. Iraq, Afghanistan, hostage negotiations gone sideways, a sniper's bullet missing my head by mere inches. Most people would call that reckless. I call it necessary. When you're chasing the truth, fear doesn't get to ride shotgun. I thought my war zone days were behind me. But then, late one night, as I sifted through another mundane stack of government records, an email came through. No subject, no sender, just a single line of text. Ethan, the world needs you again. Attached is your starting point. Hermes. And attached? A file, a piece of code to be precise. Now you don't spend decades exposing corporate corruption, war crimes, and political scandals without earning some enemies. And a few allies. I didn't know who Hermes was, but I knew one thing for sure. Whoever they were, they wanted me for something big. But why me? Because when it comes to exposing the ugliest truths, I don't flinch, I don't negotiate, and I damn sure don't stop. The file wasn't easy to crack. It was a series of coordinates, pointing to a part of the web that barely existed, a ghost within the machine. They called it Marianas Web. I'd heard whispers about it before. A digital abyss. Some said it was where governments stored their dirtiest secrets. Others claimed it housed files that could bring down entire nations. And then there were the crazier theories. Alien agreements. Quantum technology that could rewrite the rules of reality. Frankly, I didn't buy into the hype. If Marianas Web existed, I figured it was just another honeypot, a digital trap set by intelligence agencies to lure people like me. But then again, the best lies are always wrapped around a kernel of truth. Before I opened the file, I made one call. Celia Blake. You're the best codebreaker I know, Celia. And you're the best at getting me into trouble, Ethan. What is it this time? Tax fraud? Leaked Pentagon files? Better. Ever heard of Marianas Web? You're kidding. That's urban legend territory, like Bigfoot with a keyboard. And yet here I am, holding what I think is a key to it. Look, if this is real, if it's real, you're poking a bear with a nuclear arsenal. You sure you're ready for that? Was I ready? No, I'm not. But when the truth calls, you answer. That's the job. I didn't know what I'd find in Marianas Web. Maybe proof of government corruption, maybe nothing at all. But part of me hoped, no, feared, that Hermes was right. Because if the rumors were true, then we weren't just talking about secrets buried in bureaucratic red tape. We were talking about a global conspiracy, something big enough to burn the world down. And I was the one about to strike the match. I've always said the truth doesn't come cheap. And now, as I stared at the flickering lines of code Celia had just cracked open, I was beginning to wonder if it was worth the price. All right, Ethan, here's the deal. The entry point into Marianas Web isn't your standard back door. We're talking quantum encryption on steroids. I'll need Reese for this. Reese Harper was our wild card, a former black hat hacker who traded his criminal record for a second chance. Brilliant, unorthodox, and a pain in the ass to work with. But if anyone could break into Marianas Web, it was him. Damn, Celia, still babysitting this guy? Babysitting implies he listens. This one, completely untrainable. I felt the love. So the infamous Marianas Web thought it was just a bedtime story for paranoid hackers. And yet, here we are. Fair enough. Let's make some history. But if we pull this off, you're buying me a year's supply of whiskey. This isn't just a web, it's a fortress. Think layers, each one tougher than the last. The outer defenses are like barbed wire. Annoying, but manageable. But deeper? That's where it gets insane. Quantum locks, rotating encryption keys, and get this, something that looks like alien script embedded in the code. Alien script? Reese had a flair for the dramatic, but this wasn't hyperbole. It was something I'd never seen before either. Are you sure it's not just a cipher? I know a cipher when I see one. This is different. Like it wasn't designed by human hands. I felt a chill. If Reese was right, we were stepping into something far bigger than I'd imagined. We're in. Welcome to Marianas Web. What we found wasn't just classified, it was apocalyptic. Documents marked with government seals, references to a project named Polaris, and a staggering number of energy consumption logs. One file caught my attention. Umbra Syndicate, Strategic Partnerships. Umbra Syndicate? Never heard of them. Who the hell are these people? If these records are accurate, they're the shadow behind the shadows. Funding projects so black ops don't even know they exist. The files detailed something unimaginable. An underground facility at the North Pole, consuming more energy than some nations produce in a year. It was labeled as Project Polaris, and the implications were terrifying. Ethan meeting with a local intelligence contact in a dimly lit cafe. Tell me about Polaris. You don't want to dig into this, Ethan. Too late. What do you know? It's real. Hidden under the ice. Powered by some technology we don't fully understand. Whatever they're doing there, it's not for the public's eyes. This wasn't just about energy. It wasn't even about secrecy. This was something much worse. If the syndicate was involved, it meant there was an agenda, one we hadn't even begun to grasp. Back at Ethan's base, the team piecing together the puzzle. Celia, pinning photos to the corkboard. All right. So we've got Polaris consuming enough energy to fry the planet, Umbra Syndicate pulling the strings, and some alien tech we can't explain. Great. We're living in a science fiction horror movie. The deeper we dug, the clearer it became. This wasn't just a conspiracy. It was a collision course. One that could destroy us all. We need answers. And if Polaris is the key, then that's where we're going next. The files didn't just reveal corruption. They hinted at something much darker. Genetic material requisitions. Hundreds of them, marked with names of species from every corner of the Earth, some of which were nearly extinct. The team huddled in a dimly lit workspace, documents scattered across a table, a corkboard overflowing with strings and notes in the background. These requests aren't random. Look, genetic sequences for species adapted to extreme conditions. Arctic wolves, deep-sea microbes, even tardigrades. Tardigrades? What, are they building indestructible super soldiers now? Reese joked, but his words weren't far off the mark. The files pointed to experiments so ambitious they seemed impossible. At the heart of it all was a name we'd barely begun to understand. Umbra Syndicate. Let's step back. Who the hell are these people? Think of them as the shadow government's shadow. Private interests that make even the CIA nervous. If they're involved, it means someone's playing God, and they're not asking for permission. They don't need permission. They've got all the leverage they need. Look at this. Reese pushes a file across the table. The document detailed an exchange, a bargain, made between an unnamed government entity and a foreign force. The terms were chilling. Genetic material in exchange for advanced technologies. Wait. Let me get this straight. They're trading our planet's DNA, literal pieces of life on Earth, for tech? What the hell could be worth that? Power. Control, the usual. Maybe, but look closer. These species aren't random. They're designed for survival under extreme conditions. What if it's not just about control? What if they're preparing for something? Something apocalyptic? A knock interrupts the conversation. A tall, enigmatic man enters, his presence commanding immediate attention. Enter Sareth, a former operative with ties to the syndicate. He wasn't here to make friends. You want answers? Then you listen. This isn't just about DNA. It's about survival. Yours, mine, everyone's. Sareth wasn't like the others. He had the precision of a soldier, the weariness of a man who'd seen too much, and the demeanor of someone who knew exactly how far we were and over our heads. And why should we trust you? Because I'm not here to help you. I'm here to make sure you don't screw this up. Trust wasn't on the table, but information was. And Sareth was our key to understanding the syndicate's motives. You're looking in the wrong places. You've heard of CERN, right? Their collider isn't just smashing particles. It's opening doors, literally. Doors? You mean like portals? Exactly. Umbra Syndicate's tech is tied to CERN's experiments. They're using genetic material to stabilize whatever it is they're opening. The implications were staggering. CERN, once the beacon of human scientific progress, was now the playground for something far beyond human comprehension. So what's on the other side of this door? That's what we're trying to figure out. But I'll tell you this, whatever it is, it's not human, and it's not friendly. Late at night, Ethan reflecting alone. I couldn't shake the weight of what we'd learned. The syndicate wasn't just exploiting the Earth, they were reshaping it, piece by piece, for reasons none of us fully understood. What are we trading away? And for what? Sareth wasn't just an operative. He was a defector, a man who'd seen too much and lost even more. I wasn't supposed to leave. Nobody does. But when you realize you're helping destroy the only home you've ever known, you run, or you rot. His voice was steady, but his eyes, they told a different story. Guilt, anger, and something else, something darker. A quiet moment, Sareth speaking to the team in a shadowy room illuminated by a single desk lamp. The aliens, whatever you want to call them, aren't our partners. They're survivors. Their species is collapsing, and Earth is their lifeboat. Your government knows this. Hell, they've known it for decades. What do you mean? What's the deal? For their tech, they demanded genetic samples. Not just a few, hundreds of thousands. Every species they could get their hands on. They're building a genetic ark, and we handed it to them on a silver platter. Wait. So we're saving them while they watch us burn. They don't care about your climate, your wars, your extinction. They just need your DNA. And when they're done, it was worse than I imagined. This wasn't a partnership. It was desperation masquerading as diplomacy. And our leaders had sold us out. The team debates their next move. We have to tell the world. Do you have any idea what kind of chaos that will unleash? Governments will crumble. Trust will shatter. Good, let it. People deserve to know what's happening to their planet. We can't let this stay buried. That's when Reese proposed the plan. A reckless, audacious, beautiful plan. We go nuclear. Upload everything. Documents, footage, experiments, the whole damn thing. Let the internet do what it does best. Tear it apart. And what happens when they come after us? They will. But by then, it'll be too late for them to stop it. Late at night, the team prepares for the upload. The atmosphere is tense, the weight of their decision pressing down on them. We worked in silence, the gravity of what we were about to do hanging heavy in the air. If we succeeded, the world would never be the same. If we failed. All right, we're live. Let's light the fuse. The fallout was immediate. Clips of news broadcasts, protests, and online forums explode into chaos. Leaked documents suggest Earth's biodiversity has been secretly traded for alien technologies. The revelations have sparked protests worldwide, with demonstrators demanding accountability from their governments. We trusted them, and they sold us out. Who else is in on this? Government scrambled to contain the damage, but it was too late. Trust in the system dissolved overnight. Ethan walking through a crowded street, surrounded by chaos. It wasn't just chaos. It was a reckoning. People weren't just angry, they were terrified. For the first time, humanity understood just how close we were to losing everything. They made their choice. Now it's our turn. Ethan standing on the edge of a city in upheaval, the glow of fires and protests in the distance. The world had changed, and so had I. They thought they could bury the truth, seal it away in the depths of the Marianas Web. But the damage was done. News footage of dismantled facilities and global summits. The Marianas Web has been permanently shut down following the syndicate's intervention. Alien technology, once hoarded for military supremacy, is now being shared among nations under global accords. No more secrets, no more lies. They called it progress, transparency, cooperation, the dawn of a new era. But behind closed doors, the same faces that orchestrated this catastrophe were now negotiating our future. Different script, same players. Ethan's hideout, a dimly lit, makeshift underground space with monitors showing news streams and encrypted messages. For me, there was no dawn, only shadows. The syndicate wasn't about to let me walk free. Sareth's voice echoes in Ethan's memory. You think they'll stop at silencing you? You've humiliated them, exposed them. You're a loose thread, Ethan, and loose threads get cut. They came for me sooner than I thought. Ethan stuffs a backpack with essentials, grabs a flash drive, and slips out through a hidden passageway. Ethan on the move, darting through crowded streets and dark alleys, always looking over his shoulder. I became what I once hunted, a ghost. But in the quiet, I began to wonder. Flashbacks to news reports and glimpses of global reactions. Alien technologies are being adapted to address the climate crisis. Renewable energy breakthroughs and advancements in medical sciences are being hailed as humanity's salvation. The truth had ripped the world apart. But maybe, just maybe, it was piecing it back together too. Ethan takes refuge in a small, hidden community, a group of whistleblowers, hackers, and activists who believe in his mission. You're a symbol now, Ethan. The man who made them listen. They can't erase that. And hey, they can't erase us either. We've got copies of everything, every file, every connection. If they think this is over, they're dead wrong. The syndicate might have silenced Marianas Web, but the truth was out there now, etched into the fabric of humanity. A global broadcast plays in the background, a montage of diverse people innovating with shared alien technologies. For the first time, nations were forced to work together. Alien technology wasn't a weapon anymore. It was a lifeline. And while the climate crisis still loomed, we finally knew what we were fighting against. The question was, would we fight hard enough? Ethan gazing at the horizon from a hidden cliffside retreat. The world below is chaotic, yet alive with new possibilities. I disappeared into the cracks, not because I was defeated, but because my job was done. The truth belonged to the world now. But the syndicate, they're still out there, watching, waiting. And so are they, the ones we called allies. Ethan holds up the flash drive, the last piece of encrypted data, its meaning still unknown. The truth changed everything once. Maybe it can do it again. The truth has a way of finding its way back to the surface. Ethan sits in a candlelit room deep within a mountainside hideout, his face shadowed by exhaustion, but lit with determination. The flash drive, the last remnant of the Marianas Web secrets, sits on a table before him, glowing faintly under a small, flickering light. They say knowledge is power, but what they don't tell you is that power always comes with a price. I paid mine the day I uncovered the truth. Now I'm holding the last piece of it, and I don't even know what it means. While alien technology has revolutionized renewable energy, suspicions linger about the syndicate's control over key breakthroughs. Questions remain. Who truly governs these advancements? And what's still hidden in the shadows? Deep within an undisclosed underground facility, syndicate operatives analyze the fallout from the Marianas Web leak. The syndicate's leader, a figure known only as Umbra, reviews data on a sleek, holographic interface. Ethan thought he could expose us and walk away. Admirable, but naive. The truth isn't dangerous because it's known. It's dangerous because of what people do with it. Let's remind him. Umbra orders a task force, a mix of human operatives and alien collaborators. They weren't just cleaning up. The syndicate was planning their next move. I needed to figure out what it was before they found me. Ethan reluctantly turns to his network of allies. Celia and Reese resurface, Celia as a data analyst decoding the encrypted drive, and Reese, who's now working in the shadows to infiltrate syndicate-controlled facilities. This isn't just leftovers from Marianas Web, Ethan. It's coordinates, some kind of rendezvous point. Rendezvous with who? Not who, Ethan. What? If this is right, the syndicate's been hiding a backup plan, a direct channel to the alien species. Looks like they're negotiating for more than technology this time. As Celia decodes further, the horrifying reality emerges. The syndicate isn't just trading genetics anymore, they're brokering something far worse. A full-scale colonization pact in exchange for advanced weaponry, one that could reshape Earth's political landscape into a dystopian nightmare. I thought I'd exposed everything. Turns out I'd barely scratched the surface. This wasn't just about survival, it was about control. And the syndicate was ready to hand Earth over on a silver platter. Faced with the possibility of Earth becoming a pawn in an interstellar power struggle, Ethan knows he can't remain in hiding. He gathers his allies for one final push. Infiltrate the coordinates on the flash drive and uncover the syndicate's ultimate plan. So we're storming a syndicate base full of aliens and superweapons with nothing but our wits and a grudge. Sounds fun. Define fun. You'll know it when we survive. As the team mobilizes, the syndicate isn't idle. Umbra deploys advanced tech to monitor global communications, launching targeted attacks to eliminate any potential threats. Ethan's group becomes a hunted resistance, constantly on the move, outsmarting drones and evading capture. The flash drive leads them to an abandoned CERN facility, long thought decommissioned, but now repurposed into a covert syndicate alien negotiation hub. What Ethan finds there shakes even his resolve. Alien specimens in cryogenic stasis, a genetic database spanning species across the galaxy. Syndicate prototypes of weapons capable of disintegrating entire cities in seconds. A live feed of an alien mothership approaching Earth, ready to finalize the deal. The syndicate wasn't just negotiating, they were surrendering, and the price wasn't just our planet. It was our freedom. As the team prepares to upload the facility's secrets to the world, risking mass panic yet again, Ethan hesitates. Ethan, we don't have time. If we don't upload this now, the syndicate wins. And if we do, we might hand the world a war it can't survive. Ethan stares at the upload button as alarms blare and syndicate operatives close in. The screen cuts to black, leaving viewers with a single question. Will the truth save us or destroy us? Ethan's finger trembles over the button. Sweat beads on his brow as the syndicate's agents storm closer, their heavy boots echoing in the corridor. Ethan, do it! You've got 2 seconds. One way or another, this ends now. The alien hologram flickers, its expression as cold and unreadable as before. You will choose, and your choice will define us all. Ethan's eyes dart to the monitor. The timer on the upload terminal ticks down. 00100. The syndicate forces breach the door, their weapons raised. A flashbang detonates, bathing the room in searing white light. When the chaos settles, the screen is blank. The flash drive is gone. The scene cuts to news reports from across the globe. Protests erupt outside government buildings, demanding answers about recent leaks. Unmanned drones hover over polar regions, where energy surges hint at hidden facilities. Syndicate spokespeople deny involvement, but grow increasingly elusive. In the final shot, Celia and Reese are shown separately, now fugitives in their own right. Celia gazes out at a desolate landscape, her face a mix of determination and regret. Reese sits in a darkened room, disassembling his hacking equipment. The last scene shows Ethan, hooded and unshaven, walking through a crowded market in an unnamed city. He passes by a vendor with a small radio broadcasting the latest headlines. Global leaders deny allegations of secret extraterrestrial deals. Mysterious data leaks spark mass upheaval, truth, or conspiracy? Ethan pauses, his reflection flickering in a cracked mirror. The world's still turning, but it's a different world now. Did I do the right thing? Hell, I don't even know anymore. But one thing's for sure. The truth is out there now, in pieces, and someone will find it. Maybe that's all that matters. He disappears into the crowd as the camera pans to the sky. A streak of light flashes, possibly a shooting star, or something else. A darkened room hums with energy. A figure, partially obscured, reviews a series of encrypted messages. The name Umbra flashes on the screen. They made their move. Now, it's our turn. Have you ever encountered the darker side of the web, or stumbled upon secrets that made you question everything? Share your experiences in the comments or reach out to us. We want to hear your voice. And remember, this community thrives on your support. Hit subscribe to stay with us on this journey into the unknown. If this episode resonated with you, click like. Share it with those who need to hear the truth, and drop your thoughts below. Your engagement helps us expose what others try to bury. Stay curious, stay vigilant. Until next time.